Hello, this is Doug Bradley welcoming you on behalf of everyone at Renegade to Volume 8 of Spinechillers with a few words of introduction. It's a very busy volume and time is tight, so let me start right away by welcoming back for his second contribution to this series, Robert Englund, who opens this collection with his reading of HP Lovecraft's The Terrible Old Man. The story, one of Lovecraft's shortest, was written in 1920 when he was only 19, and first published the following year. The Terrible Old Man has been dismissed as little more than a polemic against non-English immigrants into the New World, and certainly that issue taints the story. I've already talked about Lovecraft's attitude to what we might term non-Aryan peoples, and I expect I will do so again before this series is done. But to say that is all the story is about is, in my opinion, to misread the story and to miss the point. For Lovecraft completists, The Terrible Old Man is significant as representing the first visit to H.P.'s fictional New England coastal town of Kingsport. Lovecraft revisited the town in several later tales, including The Dream Quest of Unknown Kadath, The Strange High House in the Mist, The Case of Charles Dexter Ward, and The Thing on the Doorstep. It was apparently based on the real town of Marblehead, near Salem in Massachusetts, although Lovecraft apparently didn't visit Marblehead until the year after the writing of The Terrible Old Man. The real joy of the story for me is in seeing the three petty crooks coming up against the Old Man and what he represents, so central to the entire Lovecraft canon and mythos, forces of incalculable age and of the incalculable depths of the ocean which laps the eastern seaboard of the United States. We stay beside the sea, the North Sea to be precise, for our second story, M.R. James's A Warning to the Curious. Many of the elements of this story are quintessentially Jamesian and share many themes with A Whistle and I'll Come to You, My Lad, which we recorded for the previous volume of Spinechillers. The setting of the story on the Suffolk coast of eastern England, Seaborough, is the fictional name James gives to the real coastal town of Aldborough, made famous after the story was written as the home of composer Benjamin Britten and the music festival he founded there. Also, we have academic antiquarians and the uncovering and disturbing of an ancient artefact, the bone whistle in O Whistle and I'll Come to You, and in Warning to the Curious, one of 3 Saxon crowns with mystical powers to protect the safety of the realm, with dire and, in this case, fatal consequences for the discoverer. First published in the literary journal The London Mercury in 1925, it was the title story of James's 4th and final collection of stories, A Warning to the Curious and Other Ghost Stories, published in the same year, 1925. And it was one of James's stories adapted by the BBC for a Christmas screening in 1972. In my long biographical note on Ambrose Bierce in the introduction to Volume 4, I noted that all his short stories, nearly 100 of them, were written in a 14-year period from around 1881 to the mid-1890s. That being the case, it's never easy to know when exactly an individual story was written, and so it is with The Eyes of the Panther. It was published in the first collection of his stories, Tales of Soldiers and Civilians, in 1891, and also in William Randolph Hearst's San Francisco Examiner in 1897, and anthologized again a year later in the anthology entitled In the Midst of Life. The story is Bierce's typically left-field take on the werewolf tradition, or I guess, strictly accurately, here, the wer-panther tradition, while the overtones of bestiality in the story, now and especially for the time it was written, are rather shocking. It was adapted for US television in 1989 as an episode in the series Nightmare Classics, and again in 2007 as a short film adapted and directed by Michael Barton. In June 1833, the Baltimore Saturday Visitor invited aspiring writers to submit short stories and poems to the paper. They would, they announced, publish the winning compositions and pay $25 for the winning poem and $50 to the author of the outstanding tale. The 24-year-old Edgar Allan Poe had previously come up
Sample complete. Ready to continue?